Welcome to another edition of my weekly trades and analysis. This is Grant. Apple provided their financial results on July 27th, and they beat their earnings, and it was beautiful. But the day after, I shorted Apple, and I'm going to show you why. These are my trades that I did this week. For example, right here, this is July 23rd. I did NIO and a Snap. And on July 26th, I did JD and a Snap. July 27th, I traded Apple, EDU, and a KWEB. And this is the day I shorted Apple right here. And I want to talk about this one first. Then I also traded Facebook and TLRY right there. On July 29th, I traded AMD. All of these trades, they are very interesting. And like I said, I always trade with reason. I do not go in without a good reason. So here we go. I'm going to show you why I shorted Apple. So now you can see that 934 right here. I shorted Apple at $143.04 right there. That's the first time I got in. I got in late. 934. Then I covered at 941. Then I wanted to short more, so because I thought it was going, so I shorted more position, more than my original position. I shorted again around 9:42 and 24 seconds. But then I felt something was wrong, so I got out about 15 seconds later. You can see that. So overall, if you look at the prices, all of them, I made money on going short, and I'm going to show you why I went short. This is Apple's chart, and you can see that this is the day before their financial results, and they beat their earnings, and it was very beautiful. But the day I traded it, it was opening very low. The volume was very, very nice right here. You know, the first one, I don't really look at it, but the second one was nice, and I thought it was one of those, buy the rumor, sell the news thing. So I thought it was going to go down a little bit more. So I got in kind of late. I got in around 9:34. Another reason I shorted Apple was because I was also watching SPY very closely. It opened high, but it was grinding lower. 934, this candle, and the volume right there, you see that? It was picking up volume. So that's why I entered a short position on Apple. I thought it had potential, and this volume was higher than this one. So I got in, but I got rejected. But SPY right there, SPY still was going down. So I was pretty confident. 36, 37, I was even more confident that Apple was not going to go back up. So I was shorting Apple. But around 941, I didn't feel comfortable anymore because it wasn't breaking that low. It made a new low, but it got rejected. So that means buyers came back in. So it was kind of like grinding right there. I covered a little bit more, but 2 minutes later, right there, it was going to go down a little bit more. Even though buyers came back, it was pushing down a little bit more. So I thought, hey, let me just go in. When I was looking at it, it was still a red candle, but the same minute, I got out all of my positions around 9:42 and 24 seconds. So before I was looking at it, it was a red candle, so I got in. Then after that, I saw this like a wick right there. That told me buyers came in. It wasn't making a new low, so I lost my confidence. So I had a good reason to short. The volume was nice, and it was grinding down, and all of these candles, they were beautiful. And I was looking at SPY, and it gave me very good reasons to go short as well. But when I had this rejection, I lost my confidence. When it didn't make any new low, I lost confidence completely. So that's why I covered all of my positions. Basically, I dodged a bullet. I think it was a very interesting trade. So let's look at the next one. All right, so another trade I did, it was a Facebook. I got in around 9:31 and I got out around 9:33. A very quick trade right here. It was a losing trade. When it opened really, really high. The second candle, it was still kind of bullish. Sellers didn't come in yet. Buyers were still pushing this stock higher, and I got in the first minute and I got out around 33. So basically I got rejected right there, and I didn't have any confidence after that. It was a very quick trade, and I think I made a good good decision to get out. All right, next one, that is a TLRY. It was also a losing trade, and I held it a little bit longer than I intended to. I got in around 9:46, and I got out around 10:30, and I'm going to show you why I did that. As you can see right here, that TLRY, it opened really high, and I got in late. Right here at 9:46, that's the time I got in. I still got a little bit the end of that rally a little bit, but I thought because of the volume, everything right here, these like bullish candles, I was pretty confident. So I let it run, and I guess I should have taken 50% off and let it run, but I didn't do that. So I let it run, and got ticked out around 10:30 right here. I had a trailing stop like always, and I got ticked out, and it actually rallied a little bit more. But who knows, sometimes you have to make these decisions. All right, next trade. All right, the next trade that I did on July 23rd, it was a NIO. But a NIO, I made a fat finger error. I put on 10 times my original size. So I got out immediately because, it was out of my risk, but I made money. You see, I got in around $43.91. I got out around $44.13, but it was a fat finger error. I could have waited a little bit longer. You can see that. The chart says right here, I got in around 9:36, and this is 9:37, but it kind of, went back down. Eventually, I was going to get ticked out if I don't take any profit out. But, it was a mistake, so I got in and I got out very quickly. That's NIO. All right, the next trade I did on the same day was Snap right here. I made money in the beginning, and I had a trailing stop, and I got ticked out right here. I bought a full position right there around $77.38. And I got out first time around $78. Then I got out around $76. I got ticked out basically, but I took some profit right there. And I got in around 9:32. You see that? Beautiful. The first candle usually very lots of volume, and the second one it was even higher. So here we go, confirmation. Get in. That's where the party is. I got in and I got that. Awesome, beautiful. And over here, I got some of my positions out, 50% usually. I got it out around 9:39, and you can see right here, the reason I got out was because right here, I felt that sellers, they were coming in because it was kind of too hot. I thought that, this it's going to cool down a little bit because of this wick right here, and I was right. So, so I took some out and I let the rest of it to run, but I got stopped out around 9:48. Soon after that, very quickly, I got stopped out. Basically, I made sure that I finished the stock with profit, so I didn't go lower. If I had a bigger trailing stop right here, it would have been right here, and I would have lost money, and I didn't want to do that. Though the chart says, right, it was still rallying right here, but I didn't feel comfortable right here. But it was Friday, so I wanted to finish my trading with something green. So even it rallied after, but I was happy the way I did it. Okay, now let's look at the other trade, the Snap trade right here that I did on July 26th, and it was a long position, 9:46, that's the time I got in, 9:52, that's the time I got out. Let's look at the chart right here, engulfing bullish candle, huge. That's the reason I got in. But I wanted to be very careful because my 200 moving average was downtrend, and since the open, it was going down. And I wanted to take a reversal trade right here because I was looking at RSI right here. You can see that this RSI right here, it was around 36. So I told myself that, I should go long right here. I should go long. If you see the chart right now, I was right. And this engulfing candle, it was a very strong indication that I should go long right there. And I did. But I got out early because I guess I was too careful. Well, the reason was because of this. You see that? And I thought, and the volume, there was a lot of volume for this candle as well. And I thought that, every indication right here so far, it was telling me that I shouldn't go long. You see, this is my EMI right here. I should be careful. So I had a very tight stop. That's why I took myself out. That was my reason. And obviously, I was wrong. It was rallying. Very unfortunate. I didn't capture all of that profit, but I'm still okay with it. So yeah, actually for this trade, I lost money. So when I saw I was losing money, I had a very tight stop. So I stopped myself, and I always follow my own rules. Sometimes I make money, sometimes I lose money. All right, the next trade I did, it was on the same day, 26th, it was JD. I got in at $68.26, got out around $68.89 and $68.87. I always have a reason when I do a trade. Right here, it was a long position. I was trading on VWAP for this one. I use different indicators sometimes, if I see something a little bit different and I want to be a little bit more adventurous sometimes. Right here, I got in at 942. So when it was touching that VWAP right here, the reason I wanted to long was because I felt this short, it was rejected. And also the RSI, it was coming back up. I wanted to be a little bit more adventurous on this trade. So I took the long position at VWAP and I had my stop all the way below this, which I think is very reasonable. A little bit, I gave myself a little bit more rope right here. Not on this, this wick right there, but a little bit below that. So, it didn't touch my trailing stop. So it rallied and I took some profit around 951, which is right here. And because, this might be the first resistance and I want to take some profit, if it goes down a little bit more, I might buy some back. And then I let the rest of my position go. And obviously it went a little bit more, it went higher, but right here, it kind of hit my stop around 10.11 because I had a trailing stop. So that trailing stop was going higher and higher. Eventually I got ticked out and it was okay. I got out around here. I didn't capture that, but you never know the top. So it was a very interesting JD trade. I did 2 trades on July 27th. It was Apple. Right here, the first trade I did, it was 10.26 right there. It was a short position and I got out around 10.35. So 10.26, I got in around here. It was a pretty good place to get in. Since the morning, it was trading down and I was waiting for a short correction, very quick correction and getting the short wave. So there's no reason to go long here today. You see that? This is my VWAP. Everything is trading down and this confirms the downtrend and it comes back a little bit. And when I see the red candles, the bearish candles, I went short 10.26. It was kind of nice. And over here, I got out around 10.35. When I see this one, I didn't feel comfortable because I saw buyers came in. There was a lot of volume right there. And my expectation was that it was going to make a new low. And that new low was going to continue. The chart didn't give me that. So I lost confidence. So I took out my position because I was expecting a smooth downtrend and it didn't give me that. And I got myself out right here. And after that, I saw the downtrend was still going and I got back in. So my next trade was around 12.34. It was making this new short correction right there. It was testing this resistance. I said, hey, downtrend today. Let's get back in. So 12.34, I got in. Also, volume right there. Downtrend always. But eventually around the 102, I think I ticked myself out right there. Yeah, and it was kind of late, so I gave myself a tighter trading stop. After Apple, I traded EDU right here. It was a beautiful trade. It was a short position. I got in at $2.60. I got out at 204 and 203. It was a beautiful trade. I saw we had a high of $2.23 right there, right? So, but I saw these two red candles, 2 bearish candles right here. I wanted to short. It was very volatile in the beginning and it made this new high and it got rejected. I see this wick right there. So I wanted to short and it kind of went back. I was a little bit worried, but I gave myself all the way around here, I think. And it went and it went and it went. I got out around 10.03. Why? Because it was going to test this support right here. And I wanted to lock in some profit. If I can get some profit, I always get some profit first. So I locked in some profit right there and I let the rest of it run 10.07 right here. When I see this, a green candle, I didn't feel comfortable. I got myself out, which you can see after that, it was consolidating. The next trade I want to talk about is KWEB, KWEB. It was a long position. It was a losing trade, but I think I did it right. Let me show you guys what it looks like. On July 27th, I got in around 932. Volume right there. Bullish candles, bullish candle right here. Rejected a little bit, I got a little bit worried, but it still grinded higher and it was trading above VWAP. So uptrend right there for short term, it opened very low. So I thought it was going to rally. But after a while, around 10, I got out around 10:03. You can see that. So when we tested this VWAP right there, I lost confidence. And it was not going back on top of VWAP. So I took myself out around 10:03. I think it was a good trade right here. I still got that. Maybe I should have taken 50% off around there, but I didn't. I was a little bit too confident. Always avoid big losses. Small losses, they are your good friend, okay? And now I want to talk about my last trade of the day, AMD right here. I think it was a very good trade, a very beautiful trade. And unfortunately, I got stopped out right there. But it was okay. It was a winning trade. I didn't capture all of the move. AMD, I got in very, very early. I had my reasons. Obviously, prices are trading above VWAP, so go long. And the bullish candles, nice volume, a lot of volume right there. It was rallying. So I got in around 9:34 right here, and I think it was a good place to get in. It confirmed my direction. Then I set my trailing stop around here. So if it breaks that, my stop is going to tick me off. And it rallied. It was a beautiful trade at the beginning. And then I think my stop was a little bit too tight. So I got stopped out around 47 right here and the 48. It was very, very steep, this rally. So right here, my trading stop was too tight and it ticked me out. Otherwise, I would have captured all of that. So maybe a better strategy is to take half off like I always do, but I didn't do it this time. Both of my stops, they were too tight. So I ticked myself out right there. That's okay. It was still a winning trade. At least I got this part right here. And, I'm always careful. Okay, guys, these are all the trades that I did this week. If you like what you see right here, hit the like button and the subscribe. This is Grant. Trade and invest responsibly.